The following 7 minutes and 29 of footage that you're about to watch was recorded by me on May 15, 2022 at around 1:30.08 AM Eastern Time. Hello everyone, this is King Vector 11 and welcome back to another Modders COD series episode, showcasing to you just how bad and how much worse modding can get and has gotten in GTA Online to this day and beyond, to warn you of what you, as an innocent player, could be facing in public lobbies on especially the PC platform, with the visual proof I have to showcase to you in this episode and in more episodes to come in the following weeks. If you'd like to know more information in regards to how bad modding can get or has gotten, to how much worse it can get, or to simply even know how I format these videos, you can check out this part 1 rant video, link will be in the description. Even after the release of the BattlEye anti-cheat for PC players on September 17, 2024, mod menu developers have quickly found many bypasses, such as using an FSL tool to run GTA Online in offline mode by loading your online save data locally to allow players to continue modding. More information on this and how Rockstar secretly wants to allow modding to continue in GTA Online by giving a command to BattlEye to disable the anti-cheat when required to use third-party launchers, which is what mod developers have turned their mod menus into to play GTA Online with mods, can be found in part 2 of my modding rant video. Link will also be in the description below. I'll also take the time now to quickly summarize that Rockstar Games does indeed support modding for many years, especially that one of my best friends whom I've known for years has had GTA Online as their main account for many years, but recently has installed or basically bought a new GTA Online account to simply use mods on for their own protections from getting crashed 20 times a day. Generally, but this account that has touched a mod menu has never been touched by Rockstar ever since it ever had a mod menu, has ever been known to Rockstar, but their main account that's never touched a mod menu once has been suspended, which honestly strikes suspicion to me. Including a comment from the last episode that if you are interested in staying tuned for to the end of this very video, you can stay tuned for, but someone else has also been falsely accused and suspended just for legitimately playing without a mod menu. Take-Two Interactive is also doing anything they can in their power to choose which mod menus must be taken down, such as the YIM menu for illegally obtained and reverse engineered GTA 5 source codes. However, they are not doing anything against mod menus like Stand for these reasons. Does this mean Take-Two is illicitly doing business with select mod menu developers and turning a blind eye when paid enough in these illicit business dealings? Regardless of this case, I'm throwing both Rockstar and Take-Two under the bus for the continuation of modding in GTA Online, and as modding still continues to this day, this series will also continue. So stay tuned and be safe when crossing boundaries with these modders, because you will never know what's to come to you. So usually for this series, prior to even showcasing to you who are the modders that I have caught, 1, 2, or many more, I would usually provide some context prior to how I managed to catch this modder. While some low IQ members may feel mentally offended that they have to stay an extra few seconds to listen to someone speak a few words, some other members have also complained about not knowing about any context provided prior to seeing the footage, and that I'm just messing around myself, even though I didn't even have to do anything. It's the modders that either come to my session or mess with me. But in today's video, I have an exception. There isn't really much context to go into. The only thing I have to state to you is that the only way I managed to catch these two modders was simply through a free mode challenge called the highest land speed. And I might as well showcase it to you right now. So here's the modder in question that I've initially caught with very basic mods, where they've simply just excessively modded their vehicles' land speed to extreme levels, not even an Ocelot Peria, which was known as the fastest car as of the year 2020 in GTA Online. It doesn't even come remotely close to how fast this modder has gone through this challenge. Even third place is questionable. Maybe that player could have used some speed bumps or curb boosting, brake boosting, glitches, whatnot, but it still does not come remotely close to how fast these two modders especially went. So the second one wasn't in my personal question, until later on I started noticing extra mod effects going on that even players in this session did not like, to their own appeal. And so without further ado, let me just simply tell you, beware when you cross these modders. You may never know who they may be. I still don't know who they are, and I still got caught in the crossfire of having my game get file crashed. Good luck, be safe, and of course without further ado, grab your popcorn, because the session is about to start right now. Guys, is it possible to hit 383 kilometers an hour? Where is he? Where's Gamer41 XP? You don't even see them on a map. You don't even see them on a map. Of course, profile's not available. And how did I know? How you knew? As soon as I see the dude, they're off the radar. They knew I'm searching for them, and they leave. How is it possible to hit 383 kilometers an hour in this game? I think it's safe to say that is yet another modder that I've caught, because, you know, modders exist in GTA Online. Some people may not admit to it and be like, hey, I'm not modding, it was totally legit. It was legit. They're just gonna try and cover up their tracks, but they don't realize that Rockstar Games actually supports modding. The fuck does this person want? What's this person doing? Oh shit, I have it on passengers. Oh no, it'll be a shame I forward, nope, can't drive my car anymore. What? The person said GPS on me? For what reason? And why the fuck did the session explode everyone? Did I just catch a second modder accidentally? The car's still alive. Oh my dear lord. Okay, I still have it on. I didn't pause it. Guess what? I don't drive people who kill me. Frick, dude massively explodes my car and everything around us, but if my car doesn't blow up for some odd reason. Person can't drive. I guess that's why they use mods, right? I climbed the hill because my car can, and they're not able to. Why the hell did the person try to... I'm concerned as to the fact that this guy's actually God mode. I really want to find out. Like, so badly. For the dumbest intentions possible that I have. So we're approaching them. I want to know if they actually mod. That would be stupid to find out. But I guess it would be safe to say I shall find out. Ever so highly unfortunately, I must... find out. Wow. They're not God mode. Why did they blow up the cars then? Why are there two spiders over my head? One on one. You're meant to say levels rising because you killed someone who blew up all the cars around. Yeah, look at that. Passive, of course, because they realized, shit, I'm not God mode anymore. That almost worked. It's my plan. There are two spiders over my head right now. That is so amazing. Yoink. Yoink. And yoink. What? Oh! Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I get file crashed. I get file... You see? Oh, it's so amazing. Oh, I love it. Oh, Rockstar. Oh, I love how you support freaking modding. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Congratulations, Rockstar, for freaking supporting modding yet again on May 15th, 2022. And so, as far as I'm concerned to how much I have to showcase to you guys in this episode, that's all that I have. Especially in high probable cause concerns for this second modder that you see right over here. So in regards to the proof, that's all I have to showcase to you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. But for those who, of course, have read and understood the disclaimers, claims, and regulations that I've written for the purpose of course, not just existing for the fun of it, for the rest of this episode, I'll be going over some comments from the previous episode. So if you'd like to stay tuned for that, stay tuned for that if you must, but no one's holding you back. You may leave the cinema quietly and peacefully with the remaining of your popcorn that you have on your lap or on your desk or whatever may be concerned. And now, without further ado, let's move into the comments. Honestly, a 7.5 minute video turned into 40 minutes for me is actually not that bad. That's actually impressive compared to what I would do. I feel like I'm getting better. But anyways, the first comment I really have to showcase to you is, of course, a good comment, thankfully. Hallelujah. This person generally states that they don't believe in good and bad modders, and for them, all modders are modders, and of course therefore cheaters. And to be precise, some of them are cheating for fun, others are having fun with antisocial behavior, some of them having a self-made god syndrome to crash, others for their own reasons, bias, etc. Sometimes their reasons are wrong, and here we can spot the thin difference of giving a power to the wrong person, which is true because obviously in that episode I showcased to you, long story short, the yin and yang of modding, where one player could have mods for protections or to have fun, and another modder could use mods to, of course, harass a session. And I state in my defense exactly this is why I showcase either modder regardless of intention, due to the fact that I do not discriminate between either type. A modder is a modder, such as what I especially state in my disclaimer or otherwise. I continue further on to stating Take-Two Interactive is more likely to take down mod menus which they can easily prove hold illegally obtained source codes or reverse engineered source codes of GTA 5 and online, such as the YIM menu, and yet they're only targeting select mod menus as if Take-Two is dealing illicit business with select mod menu developers like Stand to keep them and their mod menu standing strong as long as business flourishes in their games, all the while turning a blind eye. Other than this, I have no idea why Take-Two has not yet and possibly would not take 2 seconds and put 2 and 2 together to come to the conclusion that Stand, being a mod menu with potentially reverse engineered GTA 5 source codes, which is obviously used to make their mod menu work as if to make it part of the game entirely, is a strong mod menu many players in the game are buying right from the online web pages to take advantage of what it provides, whether for good or for bad. Now keep in mind how this person states mod menu is a tool that should never be that easy to access because this tool can harm innocent players. It is just like giving a gun to some kid in school. He might use it or not, he can't be allowed in society because if kid is getting triggered, he can abuse his power. Giving everyone a gun isn't a solution, so their verdict is to ban every mod menu from online. However, this person immediately states, which I had a questionable thought on for my first impressions of knowing this user, is that they stated comparing this to a kid with a gun is hilarious. You're a bit out of touch. It's they kind of did not read between the lines, so I was already being a little cautious of what they would say and what they would be in future comments down the road. And of course there's another person who says you act like it's murder. It's not a big deal, you make it out to be, except if they have if they have get your IP, then you got a point, which I hate to break it to you, modders can grab your IP addresses as soon as you join the session they are in. They have a pop-up menu. Someone has showed me that they have on their screen a pop-up menu from their mod menu stating this player has joined, location, this country, IP address, this IP address, whatever tokens they have, social club name is revealed. They basically are showcased everything that they shouldn't have access to. So I hate to disagree or agree, but as far as I'm concerned, I have reason to believe that modding should just not exist for that reason especially. But anyways, that person continues, I'm having an impression we're speaking about totally different things. Or more likely you're hitting a straw man, where my point were only about the phenomenon of someone who should not have the power he wields, not about lethality. Of course, it is not a gun that is able to harm physically, but in terms of my comparison, it got the point in my opinion. It may ruin your gameplay just because someone can target you whenever he wants, do whatever he wants. I state that I perceive all of them as cheaters because they don't play by the rules. Right, sometimes they don't abuse the power. Some of them are wielding a BB gun, water gun, or even a stick. Either way, you never know if they're fine to be a psycho who will follow you just because he can. And believe me, not everyone are having equal fun being watered by fake gun either. Yeah, it depends on the day for me, in my opinion. For that day when I recorded that, prior to even turning into an episode, I was like, yeah, I don't care about the game anymore, let me just mess around with this player. But if it was just a player who was messing around with me, hopefully there would be a player who would understand I'm trying to do my own thing and would leave me alone. But as far as I'm concerned, I just gave in and said, yeah, fuck around and find out at that point. So anyways, to the first person I responded, regardless of extreme context provided, it still makes sense to think about, especially if you read between the lines. Especially if the kid wasn't properly taught gun safety, they have the likelihood to be the wrong kind of hands. No one would ever expect to hold one until it's basically deemed too late. Then to the second guy, I've told them modders with mod menus have the ability to view players' public IP addresses, which especially for those who do not use a VPN is already dangerously close enough to let a modder use that IP to boot them off their internet, which I've witnessed many modders speak about successfully accomplishing many times on PC shortly after a player gets quote-unquote kicked out of the session. Yes, it's true, unfortunately. I hate to deny it, because then I would gracefully be lying to you if I said that's not true. It's true, beyond true. It's the most liable, beyond reasonable doubt of any piece of information in regards to modders being able to not necessarily steal, but have access to your IP address. And of course, as a third person, I definitely understand your points you have made. Definitely wasn't all about who wields a weapon or who wields a gun, but it was mostly about immature audiences, regardless of how their behavior is deemed and where this power falls into which kind of hands. Definitely worse if it did end up in the wrong kind of hands, and that's what has been happening for years on PC especially. The wrong kind of players are holding on to mod menus that are causing havoc, trouble, and of course, Rockstar's not doing anything about it because Rockstar doesn't give a shit. Then this member says, no, it doesn't make any sense to think about. Comparing video game omnipotence to a kid without firearms training is just silly. They're still not reading between the lines. It's hyperbolic and not even in the same room. Modders ruin some fun for a couple people in the fictional game. It depends how strict these people are, unfortunately. If there are people who literally have all the time in the world, who are already retired from their job, who are almost on their deathbed, or who are just even going to school on a weekend and it's happening on a Saturday, it depends on if these people even care about the game, and if they really didn't, they would leave the game. But if they just want to chill out in public lobbies and then this shit happens to them, what the frick can I do anymore at that point, right? Firearms have actual real-world consequences. Obviously, it's not there to cause harm to the world and make everyone feel bad about it. It's only there to harm select players. Some of them may be offended by it, some of them may be hurt by it, some of them may be briefly scratched by it. But regardless though, I can see the similarity if you just read between the lines between these two contexts. It's like if I generally brought up apples are the same as oranges. They're not. But I'm saying the reason why they are is because they both grow on a tree. So they still are a plant, they're still plant-based, they're still tree-based, and even though it's just being silly at that point, obviously it's, if you read between the lines, kind of true. They're plant-based, they're tree-based, if you think about it, to be honest. That's what makes them somewhat similar. Not exactly, but somewhat. It's just reading between the lines that you need to think about. And that's all. But anyways, this person would like to thank me for elaborating, and that extreme comparison was only meant to help bring it to perspective, but apparently just complicated things because someone saw the extreme difference between A and B and said A is completely different from B because A is the first letter in the alphabet and everyone goes with A, and B, well, you don't really see B as often because yeah, whatever. I'm going to talk about the psychological aspect, where we are dealing with a person who is basically unpredictable, arrogant, and disapproval. Yes, they have a very sensitive ego. The first thing that alerts you that something is wrong is the mere possession of this type of tool. They say they've met modders who only want to protect themselves from other modders, but this is initially a noble-sounding excuse because power can easily demoralize. Such good modders quickly began to administer justice, often disregarding the context of the situation in which they put themselves in the role of judge. Someone attacks him, crash. Someone kills a lot, crash. And maybe this person is defending himself effectively. This is no longer the judge's problem. Then a phenomenon, the need for attention, admiration, or boredom. Here too, such an agent does not take into account other players because he wants to have fun and there's only one king in the sandbox, and just try not to like him, crash. The higher threat comes from those who are truly offended. Have you won in PvP? Did you say something he doesn't like? Maybe you didn't follow his imaginary rules. Guess what? Crash. Some very determined people are able to follow you for months because they feel like it. They join your sessions, even private ones, and crash. Or kill and destroy you over and over. The goal is to make your life miserable, waste your time, and really encourage you to enter having fun with mods. Because of such a person, I have some kind of prejudice and a kind of PTSD, which is definitely visible in my attitude, and I respect you for sharing your thoughts on that. I definitely respect that. Then he continues to respond to that person. Next to your point, obviously distance is everything, but it's only a way of cope. Let's be more open-minded. We can ignore and escape from inconveniences, change the course of our interests, but is it really what we want to keep doing? I don't want to sound like a no-life, but let's picture some situation. You're working all day, coming back to home, finishing your chores like every day, and you finally have some limited time to spend, so you're choosing to play a video game called GTA on PC. You can't because some kid is ruining it for you every time you finally log in. Change session, change your game. Why should we follow some psycho's will? Obviously, thank you. Will he dictate us how we're gonna spend our time? I don't think so. This guy is writing facts. This dude needs to become the new US president. I'm just gonna say that, even though I'm Canadian, but yeah, you know what, become the new Canadian president. Please migrate to Canada and just do. Actually, you know what, it might be better for them to be a US president because then they have a direct connection to speak against Rockstar Games directly and say, go fuck yourself because you continue to allow modding in our game. Yep, that would be much better. So I respond to the other person. That doesn't have to make 100% sense to make sense. Like if you're just like 99% making sense of a context, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to point at the 1% and say it's not right. You just gotta read between the lines. It's just context provided based on how a mod mayor's powers could simply be abused and ruin everyone's fun when it ends up in the wrong hands. Straight up. And to this person, obviously, I said I understand it. It's unfortunate Rockstar's not doing the utmost best as they could or should to ensure stuff like that never happens, except the fact they made it where modders will have a harder time entering private lobbies now. But I've yet to see how long that will last before it comes back again. The discussion still continues when a member has told me when the infamous data leak in GTA source code came out, I knew it was the beginning of the end. Exactly. That's when I started seeing a catastrophically large amount of new mod effects take place in GTA Online on PC especially. Loads. I don't have enough fingers and I will be here for the next 3 hours in this video explaining to you how many new effects. But one thing's for sure, mod menus allow players to even mask themselves as Rockstar developers themselves and brick random accounts for the fun of it, which was really painful to witness. The developer won't admit to everything, but you can easily guess that they won't rewrite the entire game. They can patch and improve, but at that point it's only a temporary solution because the milk was already spilled on a carpet. How much more can you try to clean the carpet to make it milkless? It's already soaked in it now. The only way you have to do it is by changing the carpet, but that's changing the game. Why would Rockstar want to do that completely? It's not possible anymore. Mods were patched simultaneously. Sometimes it takes them a week, and sometimes the next day after the patch we have a new wave of modder invasion. An attempt to implement an external anti-cheat gave me hope that something would change, and it was like that for a few days until I saw that more and more of this crap was appearing every now and then, and it makes them want to puke. I feel bad for you, dude. I'm so sorry. I already have 800 legit level, and the only thing I'm afraid of is getting my account banned because someone wanted to frame me. Many years of experience and a lot of really good people I've met from all over the world, and we played great together. Even just as a hangout, so many good memories. More than one such innocent meetings were interrupted by a modder, and many of their friends don't play anymore, and I've lost contact with others, and it's a shame, yeah. I hate to admit, you either are really lucky to keep friends in GTA Online, or those friends that you know in GTA Online will just leave GTA Online completely, and the only luck you'd have to keep in contact with them is if you asked for their Discord that they were willing to give to you, or you were willing to give to them that they were willing to add you before shit hit the fan. And I know a best friend that I've met back in April of this year who was unfortunately being harassed by a modder because unfortunately she was seen as a female and he was a, 2mm size pee-pee man and wanted to threaten her, let's say, into bound chicka wow wow with her. But because she did not give consent, he was harassing her until she would. But I told her at that point, because she trusted me a lot by that time, we've been friends, that she trusts me a lot, to the point where we even became best friends. I told her, just leave GTA Online. I hate to say it to you, but leave it, because they're not going to stop following you for as long as their itchy 2mm size PP will continue to itch under their balls. So I hate to say it, I hate to tell them to leave, but it's the least they can do, because otherwise they're going to continue being harassed, booted off the internet, or to the point that the modder might even track and hack their location, and possibly even threaten them through even the shit that they're going through in life. It sucks, no one deserves to go through that, and Rockstar is sitting back and letting this happen. Fuck you, Rockstar. That's all I have to say to that. But anyways, I stated, continuing on through that, yeah, I agree, it's definitely sad Rockstar just watches the community fall apart as modders take over their games and sessions under their very noses. It sucks to lose friends and people you once met in the game and to never really get to hear from them again because they just quit in the game for obvious reasons. Now Rockstar doesn't care about, and so help me, I want to strangle Rockstar for not doing shit about it. You lazy fucking asses, fix your game. Just do it! Just do it! Continue on with this conversation a little more peacefully because I'm obviously losing my sanity to how bullshit Rockstar is running their game and allowing this to happen. Yeah, they can write on the community guidelines, say sorry, be nice. They just write in the community guidelines for in case freaking they get lawsuited. They'll be like, but we wrote it on our community guidelines. The players obviously have to have the mental capacity enough to read this shit. Rockstar, you underestimate your player base. It's been already written that I'm going to show you guys in a short moment from now for obvious reasons. You will see later on that the average IQ level of a typical GTA Online player is way lower than the average should be. Yeah. Just think about that, Rockstar. You think writing an article will change the players? Fuck that. Anyways, continuing with this conversation and this discussion between the three of us. Dinner stated, I'm with you, bro. My sessions suck. I won't disagree with that. Thank you. I just thought the analogy was a little lopsided. It's totally fine. Thank you for being honest. So I said, I was looking at the analogy provided without reading between the... looking at the analogy provided without reading between the lines might make it seem out of the ordinary and not make sense, which I get that. But in the end, they're really making a comparison of a gun like a mod menu to the kid, like one with a weaker character, or once they have the power, they could do whatever they wish with it, which could risk turning them into a more ill-intended, immature character that will harm those around them. That person's like, I gotcha, seems more like a shitty little kid with a water gun and no one telling them to stop. Inconvenient consequences. I mean, it's not really inconvenient the moment this modder has access to your IP address and starts booting you off the internet repetitively. That's not pew pew water gun anymore. That's like they're actually like being harmful to your social life on the internet. If you have a social life on the internet, if you're more like a person who's just introvert and just doesn't go out and talk to people, you prefer the company of online people. Like me, I guess. I mean, it saves on walking time. But anyways, I don't even know anyone in my neighborhood anyways. I prefer the online company. I literally live in a shitty place, I'll admit that. But I'm lucky to be where I am right now online. So, anyways... it's inconvenient and annoying, not life-altering. I understand that we have to make things hyper these days to make it sound legit, but I'm not there. I really don't care. I just thought the analogy was a reach at best. I understand, but you just gotta read between the lines, dude. That's it. So anyways, that person's like basically refers to real life where that gun can end the life of someone or make other real injuries. The same as mod menu video game online can end the video game, influence your achievements and progress, damage or completely ban the account, all because an asshole has pulled the trigger. Yep. A big fat fucking fuckwit that Rockstar was like, ooh, you're reporting a non-modder? Get punished. But you, as a modder, you're getting reported? No, my poor child. Continue holding on to your gun. Basically, I have to admit it like this. Straight up, I'm not going to even be shy about it. At this point, if you're comparing a mod menu to a gun, that any kid could hold on to a gun just like holding on to a mod menu, then I'm going to tell you this right now straight up. Rockstar Games supports the idea of school shootings. I hate to say it like that. It hurts my heart in my chest to even say such a thing. But that's Rockstar in a nutshell at this point with this analogy. And thank you for bringing this analogy. As much as I respect it, I don't respect the analogy itself, but reading between the lines, it makes sense that that's the way it is, unfortunately. But they're like, again, that's a hyperbole at its finest. There's no comparison. One has fatal long-term consequences that affect everyone, the other an in-game inconvenience. But that's the thing. One has fatal long-term consequences that affect everyone, especially that it's life-altering. But let's say you own a GTA Online account and a modder decides to pull the trigger and say that you're whatever, blah blah blah, BS, and your account gets permanently banned. How is that minor? You're gonna buy a new account? You just lost all of your progress that you've spent 8+ years on, if not more. How could you get all of that back? That's 8 years you cannot get back of your life. Of grinding endless fuckingly in this game because Rockstar is a big floppy sausage that smacked innocent players across the face and says, screw you, buy more of our shark cards. Well, anyways, Rafar says it all depends which modder you have encountered with and what he can do to your in-game. Of course, there are a bunch of small smelly trolls who can do pew pew with a wire gun. They usually have a free mod made from the internet like Gideons. There also exist paid menus such as Stand that are a real threat if we are about to talk fatal consequences. We should see what mod menu can do as a fatal consequence. That is in my opinion a ban or disable your game. It's nothing new to know that mods by their actions can affect your account. An example, by creating mass kill streak of whole lobby under someone else's nickname. Notification on the session appear like that player is the modder, because for everyone on the session that is not normal. Then they may report this quote unquote killer innocent player or make him regret in other ways. I don't care. The mod technique is called a blame kill, which was common at the time. It's still common even to this day, unfortunately. So most people didn't fall for it anymore. It was obvious. But now imagine that you receive hundreds of notifications out of nowhere. You realize that your character level has suddenly increased and a few million have appeared in your account. Aren't you afraid that you'll be unfairly marked for shooting by Rockstar? Bans for nothing are common. Honest players lose their accounts because they missed some crooked action, an intrigue of which they may not have been aware. For me, this is not a minor inconvenience, and this is what I mean when I compare mod menu to a gun. Have you heard about how modders had access to Social Club a few years ago? They could have banned you just like that with a few clicks. Exactly. I'm thinking more deeply in that, knowing people who are legit and got framed as if they were cheating. Rockstar don't ask. If they decide that, you got suspended. Usually in GTA, you can face only 2 bans. The first one, clearing your whole account and possessions you've earned in the game, all that stuff you spend time and energy for. Also, account is suspended for 30 days or so. A second ban is permanent, which blocks your access to the game entirely. Not a small inconvenience, to be honest, and I agree with that. I agree with that, definitely. We're all lost in schematics. It's all good, my man. I agree, modders ruin the game life. My point isn't really all that important anyway. It's okay, don't worry. We all agree here. I picked at something that didn't matter. Don't worry about it. The worst thing is having the account deleted. I had that happen a few years back. You see, even you understand. That's where the analogy is, generally. I spent tons of time grinding and earning, building my character stats, loading my garage, and hangar only to be banned because a modder screwed me over. It sucked, lots of time lost for nothing. As a result, I rarely play GTA anymore, which is a bummer because I had tons of fun. Comparisons aside, I agree with everything you're saying about modder toxicity. There we go, we're finally on the same page, and that's why I respect this person. Thank you for not being salty. So then eventually I said, that's totally fine, thank you for being genuine. It sucks that modders ended up giving themselves developer powers at some point when they breached Social Club. I was even made aware of it through numerous notifications. I had made a video on back when it happened, when taxi work was first introduced into GTA during the Drug Wars DLC. That's when these notifications have appeared to me, not even just on YouTube or Twitter, but even on Discord. In some servers that I'm in, where modders had the ability to drop $15 million a second into your account, or even take from your account per second, and break your account as if it was a real Rockstar given suspension or ban. It's just like that stacks up onto how I believe modding shouldn't be a thing, especially since it is free-ish, open access to anyone who may be the wrong hands to hold on to it to begin with. Now, as far as that discussion goes to, that's all I have to showcase to you, but obviously there is one person that I've gotten rid of, but you'll see in a moment why. But let's go into other discussions or conversations where we have someone who blatantly joined the video for 3 seconds, paused, and said 4.5 minute intro. You got yourself a dislike, even though the intro really ended around 3 minutes. I mean, as much effort that they've put into just pausing the video and mousing over the bar at the bottom and seeing, oh yeah, it starts around there because I feel like it. Yeah, your intro's, no, I'm sorry, I'm not even going to put the interest in even continuing any conversation with you beyond that. You're gone from my channel. Goodbye. Next, this person I feel so bad for. Please, guys, if you definitely want to show this person some interest, do leave a like on this video just to show your courtesy that Rockstar's a big fat fucking dick. And this person shouldn't have to suffer with what they've suffered from Rockstar's dick face. But still, this person states, about 2 years ago, they joined a Brazilian crew of grinders. When I joined, they checked my account to see if it was legit, and at that time I was level 10 and had no money, so they let me in. I started grinding money with the crewmates, and a year later I was level 400 plus and had over $150 million in money, all legit, due to KO Perico heist before the nerf. That's basically like 150 heists they've done, if not 140, if they got the Panther statue at some point whenever Rockstar decided to release it. That's pretty good, actually, before the nerf. I mean, for me, it takes me like about 2 hours to do the setups, and in case you're with someone who, I guess, pulls the internet, that's still not as legit, but still. 150 million after 150 heists, that's just constantly non-stop playing. That's pretty good, actually. After 2 weeks of not playing the game, I received an email saying that I got banned and I couldn't appeal. Never did a glitch or use the mod mail, but in that year, our crew got attacked by multiple modders on private sessions, and those modders are yet to receive a punishment. Yeah, because Rockstar's a big fat fucking dick going to strangle their neck. But still, inner zen. God, I hate you, Rockstar, so much for this shit. I feel so bad for your skull, by the way. I sincerely wish there was something I could do. But the best I could tell you at that time was thank you for the message. It absolutely sucks that Rockstar has targeted you for making too much money, especially without buying microtransactions, I believe. Anyways, I don't know if you've bought a single microtransaction, but I guess that had an influence to Rockstar saying, you spent $0 on microtransactions, you have $150 million compared to any other player, get banned. I will tell you good news though, just about a month ago with the anti-cheat update, Rockstar has opened up the support team for ban, suspension, or punishment appeals. Maybe you can try now to reason with them and discussing your findings and hoping for the best. I pray for you to get your game back. I'm terribly sorry to hear this though, dude. It pisses me off most of all that Rockstar is of course more likely to punish innocent accounts than to deal with modders in general, especially back then when you first started playing, I'd assume. And they're like, I ended up switching to Xbox Series, and now that I have a more powerful PC, I got a new account, so I'm just having fun with no rush. I respect that, dude. Sure thing. I hope you enjoy as much out of it on PC as you could possible, and to stay safe as best as you could. I feel bad for them, genuinely. I'm sorry that that happened to you. Anyways, this person is, obviously the same person like I showed you moments ago why this person is gone, but here's the reason why. In fact, Zach, if you're ever watching, I'm sorry that your comment is not there anymore, but don't worry, you're not removed from the comments. It's just because you were under the replies, that's why your comment is gone. So I'm sorry to state that in the head of time if you do come across this again, but anyways, this person, Mary Harper, says just mod offline on PC. It's not really difficult, drag and drop 3 files and that's it. But I'm like, are you insisting for those who come across this to recommence modding while offline? And yes, I'm aware of ModMails having an update using that tool that I keep messing up between FSR or FSL, whatever the name is, that lets them join GT Online, but rather than joining through Rockstar services, they join through as if it was a local hard drive save file, because in that case, I'm sorry, but that's just inexcusable. Modding shouldn't be a thing to begin with, especially to get to the extent it has gotten to numerous times. Then obviously this person makes his comment, and then Zach right here is like, bro, just had a mental breakdown, and they're like, mod offline so you don't have to deal with other modders and Rockstar and other people's attitudes. Even if don't mess with people, they'll still report you for 11.5 to 12-year online game that will eventually get shut down anyway. Yeah, that person has no cares. Reserve something as doomed in due time. That person just doesn't care. So I responded to Zach. Obviously, I didn't want to care about whatever that person had to say. So I responded to Zach and I said, under developmental capacity is all I have to say about that comment that they've made with the mental breakdown. I don't blame them. An article was published recently that the average IQ of the GTA gaming community is amongst the lowest rates of all the gamers. And as you can see, that article is hard to doubt, I hate to say. But let's move on. Now that that person is gone, not Zach, but the other person who had their mental breakdown, they're gone. I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry. That's just very low. I'm sorry, but I wish the best for you. Anyways, moving on to this person. I modded at one point just because I don't have enough time to go grind so I can buy all the cars I want. It's hard to find time to just grind GTA a whole day. I honestly understand that. Even though modding isn't the right way to play the game, I understand that analogy. Rockstar's inflation rates of money per time compared to the cost of the average article to purchase is clearly a difference between light and day, forcing players to dedicate a lifetime into getting stuff they want, but while spending as much time as they possibly need just to get one thing. It's still not a good way to play. There are always players out there willing to give a heist to let you make free money even for doing the border minimum, to be honest. But again, not being able to play for a whole day, life exists too other than GTA. Such as me, I also have a life outside of GTA Online or any other gaming content that I even stream on Twitch for those interested. And something Rockstar clearly has a hard time understanding from us walking wallets. Yeah, we are not players, we are just wallets that Rockstar wants to take more money out of. This person, I don't know what their intention of saying this comment is, but they said modding money is freedom. So I'm like, true, I understand that with how it takes hours of grinding to get one single car, but it's also a cheated way to play the game. It's not playing it anymore, it's just being unfair. They didn't say anything beyond that, so I'm just going to move on to this final comment, where this is, of course, someone who didn't really put any effort into responding and just straight up tried being a hater. So sorry, you're gone from the channel too. Goodbye. I don't even want to care about reading their comment. I just don't want to care. That's all I have to showcase to you in terms of comments. And if you feel like your time's been wasted because you expected more, I told you before I even went to the comment section that I would go through the comments for the rest of the video. And you could leave with your popcorn from your lap or desk, whatever you're in concern, if you want to move on with your day. So if you stay tuned to this very part of the video, you're dedicated and I respect you. But if you want to hate on it, I'm sorry, no one was pointing a gun to your head to stay tuned to the very end, okay? Regardless though, whoever is still staying to this point in time, thank you for watching and be safe out there because you never know what could happen to you. And yeah, good luck out there and be safe. I feel bad for the skull person though. Like, dude, whoever stayed tuned to this point of the video, dude, if you've come back on PC, I'd be willing to give you a free heist of Kale Perico. I'll do all the work. You'll get 85% of the cut regardless. I'm gonna even record it on YouTube. You can just add me on Discord if you have one. I don't care. I'd be willing to give you that. It's free $2 million. I'll be willing to give you that just to boost you just a little bit. Just to give my condolences. That's the least I wish I could do. If you're interested. If anyone's interested, even just hit me up if you want a free KO heist and I'm going to record it on YouTube. Add me on Discord. I'll do all the work. You'll get 85% cut. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say for this video. Thank you for watching and be safe.